Medieval India, page number 143, chapter number 12. Paragraph number 2. Humayun barely escaped with his life from the battlefield. Swimming across the river with the help of water carrier, immense booty fell in Sher Khan's hands. About 7,000 Mughal soldiers and many prominent nobles were killed. After the defeat at Chausa, March 1539, only the fullest unity among the Timurid prince and the nobles could have saved the Mughals. Kamran had a battle-hardened force of 10,000 Mughals under his command at Agra, but he was not prepared to loan them to Humayun as he had lost confidence in Humayun's generalship. On the other hand, Humayun was not prepared to entrust the command of the armies to Kamran, lest the latter use it to assume power himself. The suspicions between the brothers grew till Kamran decided to return to Lahore with the bulk of his army. The army hastily assembled by Humayun at Agra was no match against Sher Khan. However, the Battle of Kannauj, May 1540, was bitterly contested. Both the younger brothers of the Humayun, Askari and Hindal, fought valiantly but to no avail. The Battle of Kannauj decided the issues between Sher Khan and the Mughals. Humayun now became a prince without a kingdom. Kabul and the Kandahar remained under Kamran. He wandered about in Sindh and its neighboring regions for the next 2.5 years, hatching various schemes to regain his kingdom. But neither the rulers of Sindh nor Maldio, the powerful ruler of Marwar, was prepared to help him in this enterprise. Worse, his own brothers turned against him and tried to have him killed or imprisoned. Humayun faced all these trials and tribulations with fortitude and courage. It was during this period that Humayun's character showed itself at its best. Ultimately, Humayun took shelter at the court of Iranian king and recaptured Kandahar and Kabul with his help in 1545. It is clear that the major cause of Humayun's failure against Sher Shah was his inability to understand the nature of the Afghan power. Due to the existence of large number of Afghan tribes scattered over North India, the Afghans could always reunite under a capable leader and pose a challenge without winning over the local rulers and zamindars to their side. The Mughals were bound to remain numerically inferior. In the beginning, Humayun was, on the whole, loyally served by his brothers. Real differences among them arose only after Sher Khan victories. Some historians have unduly exaggerated the early differences of Humayun with his brothers and his alleged faults of character. Though not as vigorous as Babur, Humayun showed himself to be a competent general and politician till his ill-conceived Bengal campaign. In both the battles with Sher Khan, the latter showed himself a superior general. Humayun's life was a romantic one. He went from riches to rags and again from rags to riches. In 1555, following the breakup of the Sur Empire, he was able to recover Delhi. But he did not live long to enjoy the fruits of this victory. He died from a fall from the first floor of the library building in his fort at Delhi. His favorite wife built a magnificent mausoleum for him near the fort. This building marks a new phase in the style of architecture in North India, its most remarkable feature being the magnificent dome of marble. Sher Shah and the Sur Empire, 1540 to 1555. Sher Shah ascended the throne of Delhi at the age of 54 or so. We do not know how much about this early life. His original name was Farid, and his father was a small Jagirdar at Jaunpur. Farid acquired rich administrative experience by looking after the affairs of his father's Jagir. Following the defeat and death of Ibrahim Lodi and confusion in Afghan affairs, he emerged as one of the most important Afghan Sardars. The title of Sher Khan was given to him by his patron for killing a tiger, Sher. Soon Sher Khan emerged as the right hand of the ruler of Bihar and its master in all but name. This was before the death of Babur. The rise of Sher Khan to prominence was thus not sudden. As a ruler, Sher Shah ruled the mightiest empire which had come into existence in North India since the time of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. His empire extended from Bengal to the Indus, excluding Kashmir. In the west, he conquered Malwa and almost the entire Rajasthan. Malwa was then in a weak and distracted condition and in no position to offer any resistance. But the situation in Rajasthan was different. Malko, the ruler of Marwar, who had ascended the Gaddi in 1532, had rapidly brought the whole western and northern Rajasthan under his control. He further expanded his territories during the Humayun's conflict with Sher Shah. With the help of Bhattis of Jaisalmer, he conquered Ajmer. In his career of conquest, he came into conflict with the rulers of the area, including Mewar. His latest act had been conquest of Bikaner. In the course of the conflict, the Bikaner ruler was killed after gallant resistance. His sons Kalyan Das and Bhim sought shelter at the court of Sher Shah. Many others, including his relation Bhim Rao of Merta, whom Maldiv had dispossessed from his Jagir, also repaired to Sher Shah's court. Thank you everyone for tuning in. In the next part, we'll start with the next paragraph on page number 146. All the best for exams. Do share and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and keep supporting us. Thank you everyone.